Welcome to Norfolk Perspectives. I'm Bob Batcher. Well, I was walking downtown the other day and discovered that all the construction at the corner of Plume
and Bank Street.
Bank, you were out there. It was done.
We are in the punch list. We're getting ready for the opening. That's going to be the 13th and 14th of October, and the work of the last year is finished.
Okay, and I am talking to Colonel Bill Davis, the director of the Douglas MacArthur Memorial. What is that called? Because it's the foundation, it's the
Well, there
memorial.
are two organizations.
Okay.
There's the General Douglas MacArthur Foundation, and then there is the MacArthur Memorial, which is a part of the city of Norfolk.
Okay, now I want to set the record clear. You can park over at the garage across the street at the mall of the same name.
That is correct.
But you have to come across the street
to see the museum, the archives, the library, and the new special exhibits and other activities that are going to be in the building and that will be commemorated and celebrated on these 2 days.
Okay, now, Bill, I got to tell you, I used to walk through the cobblestones.
Right.
Ankles would do this. Now there's a sidewalk as well as a cobblestone. Where's the car?
The car was brought back and reinstalled yesterday.
Oh, cool. So it is
the car
coming
is back. We also have the Willys Jeep that was donated by Chrysler Motors about a year and a half ago. That has been installed in the new gift shop. And this afternoon we will be putting the Harley-Davidson Dispatch Rider motorcycle front and center in the Great Hall of the brand new Visitor Center.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to ask you on a continuum, looking at your career, because you had a stellar Marine Corps career that was started in Vietnam. You did all kinds of building. You did visioning with other museums and that. Did you ever think you'd be building a new visitor center?
I always hoped we would, and I think it became apparent very early on, and it goes back to, I think, the vision and the insight of Roy Martin, of Arthur Dimenstein, who were past chairman of the foundation's board, that we needed to be able to do a better job to accomplish our mission of presenting and preserving the legacy of those who have served, and to ensuring that the heritage that has been passed down to us would be passed to future generations. And to do that, it came with the idea of having a new visitor center that would give us 3 times the amount of space for special exhibits that we have now that we did not have in the old theater and changing galleries. A brand new theater that is larger, more capable, that would be able to show high definition films, and we have redone the MacArthur story in a high definition format that will be previewed on the 14th of October. A brand new gift shop, a visitor's lounge, which we've not had before, and then working spaces in the back area, a secured storage space of about 3,200 square feet to bring all the artifacts from current storage to this new storage, which allows us then in the Education Center, another building, the Gene MacArthur Research Center, to expand our archives and library into that space that's just been vacated so we can do a better job for historical research and to be able to provide information to students and scholars really from not only the local area, the state, the nation, and internationally.
And yet at the same time, you recognize that with the changing generations, the high definition, you got to get the technology and messaging in a new, different way.
Oh,
right?
you do, and you need to use technology in a way that it's going to be able to provide better information in a faster time frame, in a better format, and it's going to hopefully grab the attention, the interest, and be able of the new generations so that they're going to be able to learn more about who we are, how we got here, and what we need to do to be able to preserve this story that is the story of America.
Well, let me rewind the clock then.
Okay.
1964. What was on this site?
On this site at that time was the main memorial building, the old City Hall and Courts building. And then there were other parking lots, other buildings. Those have all now been taken down, and you have the entire square, part of MacArthur Square, that now has the main memorial building in the old City Hall, where General and Mrs. MacArthur are buried, 9 permanent galleries that have been in place and will remain in place. You now have, in addition to that, the Gene MacArthur Research Center, where the archives, the library, the educational classrooms are located. And now the new visitor center, where the special exhibits will be previewed. You'll have the area for the theater and the film, an area in the Great Hall that now opens out directly upon light rail. And with now you will see a new MacArthur Memorial and Visitor Center, light rail, soon to be Slover Library, and MacArthur Center, that's really giving us a great new center square courtyard area within downtown Norfolk.
I've got to ask you about the architecture, though, because I really expected it to kind of mimic the memorial, which is very traditional. This is out there.
Well, not really.
Well,
what we wanted to do was to be able to design a building that would complement rather than compete, because the iconic architecture of the memorial itself is something that we want to maintain. We want to make sure that nothing will overshadow that. So the new building does not, I believe, detract from the old building, but rather complements it.
Well, in fact, those wood prints at about 5 feet above they're mine, because I keep poking my nose up against it. I mean, the building itself is very inviting with, on the Plume Street side.
Yes. And the other thing that you're going to see tomorrow and Friday, we will be installing the 9 historical glass walk-through history panels that will welcome visitors and give them an idea about this period of history and what they're going to see when they come inside, not only the new building, but also the main building and the research center.
Now, you had in the old theater, there was the back wall.
Correct.
And it's now outside. Was that, or was it just sitting here that day?
That the plaque, what you're talking about, is the mural that was given by the military, the government of South Korea, to the memorial a number of years ago that commemorates the landing at Incheon during the Korean War. That has now been moved to an area that we call Heritage Walk, that it is now in its own mount that really accentuates what is a garden, a rest area, an area of repose, to be able then to come in a heritage walk that has bricks commemorating individuals, families, and those who have served.
Now, I noticed a bunch of names, but I also noticed a bunch of blank ones. In
Correct.
closing, you have an opportunity here to
You
offer?
do. We have an opportunity to either on ourselves, for a loved one, for a family member, to be able to commemorate them and their service in the Heritage Walk at the memorial.
So October 13th and 14th, you got to be downstairs.
You do.
Downtown.
On the 13th, activities will start at 10 o'clock with the opening. We'll then have both musical performance during that, color guards, remarks by the mayor and other dignitaries, then opening of the new building, see the brand new special exhibit, which is an exhibit on World War I, and will be the first major exhibit on the 100th anniversary of the First World War in the United States. And then a visitor's lounge, a brand new gift shop, and you have to stop by and find something that you need to take home.
I will. Bill, thanks for your tenacity in keeping the foundation and the work of General MacArthur in forefront, but also propelling us into the future in our celebration.
I thank you, Bob.
What our men and women have done for our country. Thank you.
Thanks.
When we come back, we're going to be going to the garden. Well, the garden's actually coming here. Stay tuned and find out where they're at. Okay? Stay tuned.